Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. Welcome back to my free-to-play series. In this series, if you haven't seen these videos before, we're playing through the game on a fresh free-to-play account, solo, with only using what I find, no auction house, no DDO store, no guild buffs, nothing like that. So in this episode, we're going to run, and this is kind of a special episode because I'm going to make a sort of an exception on the solo-only thing because we're going to go through the quest Xorian Cipher, which basically requires another party member. Now, there technically are some hard to do ways to solo it, or you can solo it with with buying a couple gold seal hirelings, which I could have done, but I'm going to go ahead and dual box this. So I have another level 10 character on my main account that I'm going to use to help get through this quest. So the thing with this quest is Xorian Cipher is there's a point where there are 4 plates and 4 characters have to step on 4 plates. So you can't do it solo unless you kind of manipulate the enemies with Fascinate or something. And that's kind of not the easiest thing to do. So I figured for this, I would either buy 2 gold seal hires to show you guys this for the video, or duo box. I decided to duo box. But if you really want to solo this, you probably should just group with somebody. So you can only have 1 free in-game platinum hireling at one time. But if you have, say, like the expansion hirelings or the gold seal hirelings, as I mentioned before, you can just use 3 hirelings to get through this. So yeah, but anyways, we'll go do that first. And I have the camera set up so you'll be able to see me flip back and forth through the 2 accounts I'll be playing. Okay. So I'm not going to use that second account to like help me get through the quest in any other way other than just stand on the plate. So I feel like I'm still staying true to the restrictions I set for myself in this series. Okay, we're in House Jurasco here, and Xorian Cipher is up here in the north. And then we're going to hit Haunted Library, which is in the Drowning Sorrows Tavern. First thing I wanted to show you, though, is I got enough favor to get House J buffs. So it's just something I wanted to point out. House J has buffs that will cast on you for almost nothing if you get a certain amount of favor. And then House Falari and House P has the same thing. House P's are better, I would say. But we did just get enough, I think 75 favor from me unlocking these quests on hard and elite. So I got enough favor so we can talk to, and I have them here, but I'll just get them again to show them to you. You just talk to this person when you get enough favor. Well, you initially have to talk to Riel here to unlock it, I believe. And then you talk to Annabelle, and you can get Bless, Shield of Faith, Remove Fear. Not that, Bless is something, you get a little bit of a attack bonus, but Shield of Faith gives you AC bonus, and Remove Fear is morale bonus against fear effects. But, they're 100 gold, which is basically nothing. So, you may as well come in here and get them. There's no reason not to. Now, they last for an hour, which is pretty nice. However, they do tick down unlike guild buffs, they do tick down in public areas. So, I don't know. I mean, if with these, I'm doing this once to just show you them, but I'm not too concerned about like showing you every single time, showing you or having these on 100% of the time. It's a little more hassle, I think, than it's worth to have to run back to House Jurasco all the time. So I figured since I was here, I don't think I've shown you this before in the series. My apologies if I have already. But down here, there's a very special NPC called Fred. So Fred is the feat exchange guy here. So if you want to change a feat, maybe you made a mistake, this is where you go. It costs you need a certain Dragon Shard item and Platinum, or you can pay with Astral Shards, but you do get 1 free feat exchange token in the quest Hall of the Mark in the marketplace. So you can get that once per life. So if you want a free feat exchange, you could do that quest. It's very, very simple, and it's just trivia, essentially. Okay, so let's go to Xorian Cipher, and this is an extreme challenge dungeon, and which basically means it's a lot more difficult. And here's my second account here. Or actually my main account. So I'm gonna hop over here. There we go. And this is just a bank tune. Like this coon is an old two weapon fighting melee cleric that I built like 10 years ago. And while I was prepping for this video, it was actually the first time I'd played this character probably since like 2010. So this character is not good or anything. It's not a character I play. But anyways, but they'll do the job of stepping on plates for us. Anyways, this is an extreme challenge dungeon, so I'll see how this goes. It's going to be difficult. on Elite, but we will see. And it does have this Path of Madness quest, which is a very short pre-quest. So you do have to, it's just a prequel quest. There's a few quests in the game that have this, like the Jungle of Kyber is another example. There's a few here, and I got to step in on my other account. But yeah, there's a few quests that have these pre-quests. So make sure I got my hireling, which I will definitely need. There's the reason this is difficult. The infight's pretty difficult, just a lot of mobs, a lot of damage, and there's also some traps in this quest that do a disproportionately high amount of damage that I'm gonna have to look out for. So in this first part, you know, it's a short intro, so you can feel free to buff or use all your clickies because they will get refreshed when we enter the actual, you know, main quest. Lots of bone shrieker skeletons that can mess you up here. Failed a save there, unfortunately. So if this run does not go well, then I will just come back in on hard. See, they do a lot of electric damage, so you definitely want some kind of, you know, electric absorb, something like that. I didn't bother to put resists on, though I might. Sonic also, as far as I recall, there's a lot of sonic damage in this quest as well. Unfortunately, basically all the mobs, not all, but most of the mobs in this quest are undead, so I'm not going to be able to stun. As soon as I say that, the mob I can stun shows up. Alright, and that's really all there is for this first quest. It's run through the woods, get to the actual quest entrance. So, just click on that. There we go. So even if you don't want to do Xorian Cipher, so if you're soloing and you're free to play, I would say just skip this one. But if you do want to do it, but if you do decide to skip it, you can at least do Path of Madness. So you can go ahead and run this one 3 times. It's really short, so you may want to. So now I'm gonna have to run through on this character. Okay, let's step in. I know I'm not even going to bother to loot on this tune. I won't be passing any loot or anything. Although if you had a second account, you know, it's a good way. A lot of people do run second accounts to help with looting items because basically get an extra pull if you got an extra account. I've even seen people play with a whole party of just them on the one computer. It is an option. Okay, so gotta be really careful here in this quest. There's just so much damage. I want to make sure I have all my buffs going, and I did actually manage to find, sorry, my computer messed up there a little bit. I don't know what it's beeping for. So I did manage to find through a silver daily dice roll this long-lasting elixir of supreme ability, which is a +2 bonus to all of my stats. So that was a lucky roll on a silver roll, and I'm going to use it here. But I want to make, so basically it gives me a +2, as you can see, to all stats for an hour. So I want to make sure I've got literally everything. And I also got a found a 20 Sonic pot, which I'll use here. Not yet, but I'll probably use that for the end fight when we get closer. But I want to make sure I've got just at least regular Sonic going. Okay. So this quest has a few different mechanics I need to make you aware of. There's these little orbs that are on the ground, and you want to do the best you can to stay away from them, because they will do a random effect when they touch you, and you'll see them in just a second. There they are. See right there, that purple black orb? Do your best to stay away. Some of these effects, they can occasionally do a buff, but they will often do negative levels to you, or some other kind of nasty effect you don't want, so avoid them. There are runes throughout this dungeon that if you hit the runes, it will make the orbs in that area disappear. So this path here, I'm going to go this way because there's orbs over there. Hireling's really doing work. It is kind of easy in this one to run past mobs. Mobs will sometimes just spawn behind you, so be aware of that. Okay, there's going to be some archers up here to look out for. There's also only one shrine in this dungeon, and you'll definitely want to hit it. There's also, if you do this dungeon, it's... watch out for the orbs. If you do this dungeon... There are a couple of oh, let me show you one thing actually. If you use turn undead on the shrine, you'll get this DM message, and basically what it does, apparently according to the DDO wiki, is it casts turn on all the targets in the room if you happen to have turn undead and use it there. But I've never seen that in any other quest in DDO. That is very much a quest specific thing. But anyways, there's some good loot in this dungeon if you do decide to do it. The best thing in this dungeon is an item called the Planar Gird, which is a belt that has it's a clicky, and you can use the clicky to get greater heroism, which is a really good buff. I mean, especially at this level, it's not common at this level. Now later on we can UMD it with since we're taking UMD, we can use greater heroism scrolls later on. But it's still really nice to have a clicky, so you don't have to necessarily rely on a consumable. Okay, what we got? These runes can just make... If you get all 12 runes, and these runes require different skill checks, so I'm not going to be able to get them, so I'm not even going to try. But some require intelligence, some require wisdom. They just require different stats. But if you pull all 12 of them, you get the optional, but we're not going to be doing that. Okay, so next... we got to get... There's a lever we got to pull. I believe it is up here. Yeah, here we go. I think there's another one. Is there another one on the side here? Yeah. So this is the part of the quest where we're going to have to use our alt account here. Well, not quite yet. But we're getting close. Okay, this is the part. So what I'm going to have to do is go to my alt account now and see, here's the plates. So you step on this and the rune's lit. There's one here, and two over here on the other side of the hallway. So you really do have to have, unless you're really fast and really good at manipulating mobs, because mobs will count for standing on these platforms, you basically need a second player or 2 gold seal hirelings plus a platinum hireling. So let's flip over to our other character. He's going to have to run up here from the beginning of the dungeon.
A dense fog swirls around the bottom.
Hopefully he doesn't die.
Huge teeth that burst through the walls of the passage ahead.
But if I see any mobs here, I'll just run past. Oops, and I'm going too far. Okay. So I want, so, okay. So there's two, there are other things you have to do, which each side of the party before we can complete the dungeon. So here on the right side, whatever group is on this side of the dungeon, there's going to be a bunch of fighting, and this is the lower floor section. There's a bunch of fighting in here, and there's a lever you have to pull to open a doorway for the party on the left side. So now I'm going to switch. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and pull a hireling so that this guy can each. Yeah, so if you have one other friend, you both can have a hireling and do this dungeon together, no problem. But okay, so we're going to have her stand here. Actually, we're going to have the hireling stand here. Then her stand here. Okay. So now we're going to go back on our main character here. We're going to go all the way down. But on the right side, so there's that fight and one lever to pull. On the left side, there's actually a puzzle you have to do. So I would recommend the stronger character go to the left if there's two of you. Because basically what we're going to do on the left side here is we're going to have one person. You know what? I'm going to check inside here. I think this is just an optional. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah, this is just an optional, but that's fine. We'll go ahead and do the optional. I can use more. Let's see. Well, there is no chest. I was going to say I could use more elite chest pulls, but there is no chest. Just a rune. Which sometimes is worth checking, because you can't get the runes. Sometimes your hireling can. In this case, they can't. Okay. All right. So no chest there, but a little bit XP. Okay. So here's the last part of it. So we're gonna stand. Actually, we're gonna rebuff first. We got Angel Skin is almost out. This is almost out. Okay. Let's do our Sonic. And Electricity should be good. Oh, we didn't even do our stats, actually. Let's make sure we do our stats. Owl's Wisdom and Bull Strength. Okay, now we should be good. Okay, we're going to have our hireling stand right here. And as soon as I do this, I'm going to flip over to the other party. And I'm just going to have this character run in here, pull this lever right here, and they'll be done with their part. So now I don't care. My other party member can die. They're probably going to die. I don't care. It's fine. They've done all I need them to do, so I'll just let them stay down there and get killed. So that lever down here, what it did is it opened, see this green crystal? It opened this door. Okay, so you're going to hear, because the way my computer's set up, you're going to hear, I think, sound effects from the other party, the other account. Okay, so I'm going to take out some of the mobs, and then this is a pretty straightforward light puzzle. Just make it from the start to the end. Yeah, after this, you do not need the other party member anymore. Okay. So rip to our to our other account there. All right. So now this puzzle's done. So now this gate is open, and we're gonna go down here. This is the room that yeah, so this is the room where our first group was. We're just gonna kill these guys. Unfortunately, we got 2 champions here, which is a little rough. And we got 4 negs from the caster, which really I should kill the caster first. Oh man, that's not good. Let's see if our hireling can save us. Nope. Told you it was an extreme challenge dungeon. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since we wiped there, we got kind of unlucky that both of those guys were champions. And that's the thing with champions, is you can sometimes just get unlucky. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just reset the quest, and I'm going to come and finish it on hard. So cut here. Okay, guys, we're back here on hard. This time ran through the quest again. Let's see if we can actually get this fight this time. We got 2 champions again, but it'll be fine on hard. We actually got 3 champions, which was bad. 5 champions actually. That's really bad luck. Let's go ahead and get these archers. Getting hit with negs. Unfortunately, at this point, we don't have death wards, so there's nothing we can do about it. Yeah, that was actually extremely unlucky right there in terms of how many champions we got. So champions, you know, obviously I've talked about that before in this series, but they're random, so you never know, you know, how many you're gonna get, and it makes dungeons. Sometimes dungeons can be more or less difficult just depending on, you know, what your champion luck is. And the same with Reaper mode with Reapers. You know, sometimes if you play High Skull Reaper, you'll just pop into a room and there'll be like 2 Dooms and 2 Vengeance Reapers, and that'll be that. Okay, so actually my hireling actually is wasting resources here. I'm just gonna leave my my dead alt account here. But anyways, we got that fight done, so we can now progress. We got a shrine over here that we can use. I think I'm gonna, let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and actually use it. I want to use it now, or do I want to come back? Let's go ahead and just let's go ahead and use it now. Yeah, for sure, to get rid of these negative levels. Yeah, it'd be nice when we get death wards. So the good thing about Paladin is you do get, let me go ahead and heal myself before I rest. Good thing about Paladin is you do get the death ward spell eventually. Don't have it yet, but we'll get it eventually, and death ward will prevent negative levels. There's also a few other ways to prevent them if you are playing a class that can be undead. So like Pale Master from Wizard, or the new upcoming Dampier race has a has negative option, or has an option to be undead, or if you're a Warforged or a Blade Forged, all those have options. All those are naturally, I can't talk today, naturally immune to negative levels. Other than that, if you're not one of those races or undead, the only way to prevent it is to have the Death Ward spell, or to get neg level immunity through one of the enhancement trees, which we'll get that as well. So we don't even need, at some point we won't even need the, shouldn't even need the Death Ward spell for negative level prevention purposes. Okay, so we've got a special chest up here that requires a little bit of, not a lot, but a little bit of twitch movement here. Okay, but actually before we get to that, we have this trap here, which is, this trap is, I think I'm going to go ahead and, let's see. We'll just Sonic. Okay. All right. So there's some traps up here which do a lot, even on hard here. They do a ton of damage. So I'm going to be careful here. We also have these archers to deal with. I'm just going to run through. Hopefully I don't hit too much. The first blade one here. Okay. If you, ooh, that was bad. I stood right in the trap. Should be fine. My hireling can heal us here. So this first trap, if you stay in the middle, you should be fine. Yeah, this, I don't know why this Feywald Muse is following. Probably because I accidentally, did I pick up? No. Anyways, that Feywald Muse is my hireling from my other account. I'm just going to go ahead and just let it die there. Anyways, if you stay right in the middle, you shouldn't get hit from these 2 blades. But this Sonic, you just gotta dodge. So I'm gonna try to time this. Okay, there's 1. Stop. There's 2. Okay, good. Didn't get hit. Really want to make sure you manage your hireling here too. I'm trying to manage it so he doesn't run into any spikes. This last part is really easy to avoid. You know, just run between the spikes where they're popping up. Okay, so let's see. Here, I believe, is the chest. Yeah, okay. So this floor right here will break. So you got to be really careful. Hopefully I don't mess it up. You got to stay right on the edge because the floor will break. If you run straight to it, yeah, see, there you go. It'll break and you won't get to it. So the only way to get this chest is to make sure you stay on the edge, or if you have a leap ability like spring attack, or say like abundant step from monk, then you can just abundant step or leap over. Ooh, nice. Oh, well, it's radiance, but I got kind of excited because I saw an augment. But this isn't really going to help us because this is for light casters. If I was a cleric caster, I would be really happy about that. But don't really care otherwise since we're melee. Okay, so now the only way to get out of here is you got to drop down, kill this Death Fang, optional. Get 2 chests, actually. Well, this one we have to get to progress, actually. Okay, so the other thing about this is if you do miss, unfortunately, if you miss and fall down, you don't get another chance. You'll have to reset the quest. Okay, now the quest is almost done. We just gotta not hit those bubbles, and we just have the infight here. The infight is really nasty. So I really, being an extreme challenge dungeon, I really was not expecting to get through this on elite. There's just too much damage solo when we're playing on a free-to-play account with no gear and no guild buffs. This is a really old dungeon, and it was made. Obviously, they want you to group with people. The game has changed a lot over the years. It's become more solo friendly over time. So when you see some of these old dungeons, they can have pretty punishing group mechanics where it's just like you can't, they were just made to, you were just expected to have party members. Okay, so we got, all right, so we just got the infight here. So we're gonna make sure we're all buffed. I'm gonna use my, even where we're just on hard, it's still like I could die here potentially. Use our Sonic. We have a +20 instead of a +10 that I found. Go ahead and make sure I have electricity. Go ahead and do an acid, electricity. Okay, make sure that's good. Make sure I've got my righteous command and angel skin. I don't think there's any magic missiles, but I'm gonna go ahead and use shield. Okay. Let's have our hireling top us off here. All right, let's do it. If we see any champs, we want to go for those first. Here's one. Okay, we got pretty lucky this infight. Not tons and tons of champs. Yeah, not even any hound champs here. This is a lot easier fight than when I was unlocking this on Elite. So I hope I get the planar gird. Let's see, get this remnant. Really hope I get the planar gird. That would be a wonderful. I might even come back and farm this quest. Yeah, this is just to finish. I might even farm the quest to try and get a planar gird because that would be really nice. Maybe. I'll see if I feel like it. Yeah, no planar gird for us, sadly. An item I got a planar gird 10 plus years ago on my main account. I still use that item all the time, and I've been using that item for 10 years. So it's a really nice item. It's just a really early way to get greater heroism. But okay. So that is it for Xorian Cipher. And we're going to go ahead and leave my main account. Okay, do we get anything good here? Looking forward to finally taking level 11 here soon. Still got a couple quests, one which is going to be, Haunted Library. So yeah, I went back and forth a lot about Xorian Cipher. I originally was going to just skip it for this series, and I was like, you know what? I better do it since I do want to cover I do want to do every single free-to-play quest from up until level 20. So that was my goal. So I was like, you know what? Let's just bring in the main account here since I happen to have a level 10 bank tune just sitting there. So my bank tune got a brief return from retirement, but it's going to quickly go back into retirement to hold inventory. Woot. All right, let's go ahead and repair here and sell. So the next quest, Haunted Library, is a lot easier. Sun's Fury, that's kind of a cool, that's actually a nice effect. I wish I got that on a greatsword. That's actually, no one uses heavy picks, but that's actually a really nice, for me, if I was a pick user, I would be so pumped about that. Double strike 6, firing and corsicating, a bunch of extra light and fire damage. I would have been really happy with that item. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be using it. I did get this when I was unlocking quests. This bartered and help of stunning, so it has stunning 6 on it. I might even keep it just for the haggle plus 10, because if you put a haggle item on, increase your haggle stat, you can get more platinum when you sell stuff. That Ruby of Radiance, I'll probably hang on to and throw it in the bank. Thieves' Tools I can get rid of. Dragon Shard Fragments, I'm just not keeping that stuff. Someone asked me last video about why am I letting my stuff take permanent damage? So the weapons I'm using, because I could attune them with the Stone of Change if I wanted to and prevent the permanent damage. But I'm not bothering to do that because we got something here. Because as I level, I'm going to get new gear, and it's not going to accumulate permanent damage quickly enough for me to really care or bother to run back to the Stone of Change. So we got, what is this? Ooh, Holy Bashik Greatsword of Critical Slashing. Ooh, this is a nice one. It's got Holy 3 on it. Gashing 5. 5d6 slashing damage on a critical hit. Interesting. So let's look at these two weapons, and let's see if this is better than the one I got currently. Let's compare the two. So we got 1.25 3d4, then just 2d6, 12. Okay, so this one's a little better. Let's see, about an average of 6 plus 4, so 10 average base damage. Plus this one is 12. What is 12? 1.25 times 12. It's sort of similar. I mean, it's got, yeah, I think I'm going to end up using, of course, this one has Ruby of Flame 3d6. Keen doesn't mean anything because I have improved critical at this point. By Chic is kind of nice. Yeah, the extra 5d6 I think is going to make it this level. It's going to make this better, I think. So we're going to swap over and start using this. Let me double check the crit profile on this. Yeah, 20 times 2, but that's with Keen. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Plus, actually, this is a wonderful pickup. I'm just realizing because we now have good aligned weapon, a good bypass, which is actually, wait, no, I'm thinking silver. This doesn't have silver on it, doesn't? No silver. Okay, because we're gonna do Church in the Cult here pretty soon, which is a level 9 quest, the only level 9 quest. And at the end of that quest, there's a vampire. Did I pick up the quest? There's a vampire at the end of that quest that has silver DR. So if you have a silver weapon, that's a great asset. All right. So Haunted Library. This quest is a lot easier than Xorian Cipher. This is it's about a medium length quest, I would say, and it's very straightforward. So we'll do this on Elite. Shouldn't be a problem on Elite at all. Okay, looks like our hireling expired, so we're going to need a new one. And I've got a few pieces of gear waiting for me in the bank that I'm looking forward to using whenever we get our get to level 11. But got to finish my level 8s first. I don't want to be taking a penalty.
This door is locked. somewhere in the library.
Okay, so this quest is basically find 3 books. The Tome of Bone, Flesh, and Blood. It actually has some overlapping portions of the map. So it can be a little bit problem with navigating. So here's the first book. We got 2 more. The first one they give you quite early. Okay. Sometimes I get paranoid that I forgot to go in on Elite. But I need to remember that this quest is a lot easier. This quest is a lot easier than the last one we did. Okay, so I actually need to go back. I didn't pull. I think there was a rune or a lever in here I didn't pull. Oh no, there's a key I didn't pick up. Yeah, I didn't get the second chest. My bad. There's another chest back here. Yep, some traps, not too worried, just run straight through. They don't do near the damage of the traps in Xorian Cipher. Even on hard, Xorian Cipher traps did way more than this quest on Elite. One of the nice things about playing Paladin, you've got good saves and you're tanky as well on top of that. So a lot of times you can just run through traps. Another reason I think it's good for beginners, if you're playing like a caster cleric or something, you know, traps can just mess you up. You have no reflex save. I mean you have a terrible reflex save, so a lot of times you'll just and I better use, actually, where's my Featherfall? Yeah, let's use our Featherfall item. It's a bit of a drop here. If I don't use Featherfall, then I will take like 30 points of damage or so. Yeah, I would love to get a silver weapon for the vampire, because I'm actually curious to see how... I think I'll be able to... If I don't get... okay, we got another key to find. If I don't get a silver weapon, I'm curious how that fight at the end of Church and the Cult will be. Probably... I mean, normally with power creep, you can just go right through that, but I'm kind of not impacted too much by power creep since I'm limiting myself so much in this playthrough of DDO. So we'll see. I'm curious how I'll be able to kill him. I do think on Elite I should be able to kill him regardless, but we will see. I'm definitely on the lookout. And I may clear... I'll see what I want to do, but I may clear some level 10 quests on like normal and hard before I do the video for the for Church and the Cult. We'll have to see. So I'll have some more opportunities to pick up a silver weapon. And I'm trying to remember the really good longsword. Remember the really good longsword I pulled that I talked about in previous episodes? I'm curious if that has silver on it. Of course, I'm not a, I'm a two-handed fighting character, so it's probably still not worth using, but I'll have to check that. Okay, what are we looking for? We're looking for one of the tomes. I think I still am missing the key. Yeah, I'm still missing the key. Hear a wraith. Yeah, it's the thing about these maps with the overlapping floors can get a little confusing. Oh, here we go. To grab this chest. Yeah, if when you see cloud kill like that, you should try to run out of it and fight away from the cloud kill, don't fight inside of it. Okay, so I think I did pull, yeah, I got the key now. So we are good to progress. You actually don't have to kill that guy. A lot of times archers like this guy, you actually don't have to kill him. I've explained that before, I believe, in previous episodes, but for certain archers who just stand still, you don't need to kill them because they don't add to dungeon alert because they don't move. They're static enemies. So you can just, unless you're going for the XP bonus from killing everything or whatever, or killing a certain number of mobs, then you don't really need to worry about it. Conquest and such. Okay, do we want a shrine? I don't think so. I think we're good. Pretty much all these quests that I've run, they've got uncorporeal enemies. You gotta have a ghost touch weapon if you're a melee. Fortunately, they're not too hard to find. Okay, we're gonna fall down the floor now. By the way, so I played with my settings in my videos. I've noticed that previous episodes they looked fine, but they could look a little better in terms of the video portion. So I tweaked my settings a bit, so I hope the video looks even better.
The unholy altar in the chamber below radiates evil throughout the chamber.
I noticed it was getting maybe a tad blurry when my character was moving quick or turning the camera. So I hope it's better. If not, I'll keep tweaking to try and improve it. Still 2 more books to go. They give you the one really early, and then you don't get the other 2 until much later on in the quest. So we got a puzzle coming up as well. Another light puzzle, which you see just all the time in DDO. Light puzzles are, there's our second book, by the way. Light puzzles have got to be the most common puzzle. DDO, well, we got Con 3 of armor. Okay, that's just going to be sold. Evil altar. Okay. Okay, we got our puzzle down here.
This magical floor puzzle.
So we got 4 runes this time we got to light up. We do have monsters that will continuously spawn to annoy us while we're doing our puzzle. So this one's nice to have. It's nice to have party members for this one. It's not required, but it's nice because then someone else can kill the monsters while one other person does the puzzle. Let's see. We're going to have to go, let's see, this way. No, we're going to have to go this way. Like that. And actually, we're going to have to go up. Then this. Okay. And we're done. But you see a lot of different variations of light puzzles like this one. You know, this one you got to light up 4 things. Sometimes you'll see them say, on an actual wall. I think the devs try to mix it up and keep it fresh. Sometimes you'll see the one like in Korthos where you have the light running on the sides. There's even a quest, well, the Twilight Forge, which is probably the most complicated raid in the game, which if you want to check out me soloing that, I have a video where I explain how to solo Twilight Forge, which is the raid from the Restless Isles, which is not free to play, by the way. That's actually got a really interesting light puzzle where you have to, you basically have to you have to run the light to different rooms and you can't actually see where it's running. So they can get pretty difficult, but that's the most extreme light puzzle I would say in the game. Okay, let's re-up our buffs here. Yeah, just type in like Twilight Forge, Axel DDO, you'll find that video. I actually have the full run posted on my second YouTube channel, which is Axel Alex K2. If you want to check me out over there, I post sometimes like me playing other retro games and such. Okay, so what do we got? This, we can probably get some electric resist, sonic resist. Not too worried. This quest is not that difficult.
As you approach the door, the feeling of pure evil and malice grows stronger.
Okay, so the only thing to watch out for in this room is the last tome is in the top left corner here. A lot of cloud kill. Oh man, that's not good. Let's get out of the cloud kill. And I do have some lay on hands, which I should be probably using more often, which I'm not really using. But I still have the 2 charges of lay on hands to save myself should my hireling die or whatever. Okay, so the last one is in here, but there is this poison trap. But you don't need to disable it. You can just stand here on the side. You don't have to run. If you run right in front of the chest, you'll get smoked by this trap. If you just stay there right on the side, you'll be fine. So let's hopefully I get something good. Insightful electric resistance, intelligence 5. Not something we're interested in as a paladin. And nothing. Let's see what we got. Hopefully we can get something good on the quest turn in. We can actually do our silver roll as well to see if we get something good today. Let's do our silver roll. So you should always do this every day. Get 1 free 1 a day. So this time we got 500 experience points and a gold seal elixir of improved healing. Okay, that's not really that great. That's just a fancy smancy healing potion. The thing about that quest as well we just did is it'll leave these things in your inventory. The different books you picked up, just throw them away. It's something that honestly the devs need to, they never did really, it's not really a bug, it's just kind of a inventory hassle, because it should drop those out of your inventory on completion of the quest, but it doesn't, so you have to drag them out manually. All right, let's see what our reward is. Let's see, I'm looking for something better eventually for the armor. Healing amp, but it's hard to replace the one we have. The one we have with PRR plus 10 is pretty nice. Earth Grab Guard is fun. It's not great, but I like Earth Grab Guard. It's fun. But Absorb, it's got electric resistance, but I can't really. Plus 10 PRR is so great. It's hard to justify not using that, but I might grab it just for fun. Okay. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you for future episodes. Take care.